Perfect. Yo.
Hey, welcome into
Hey. What episode is it, y'all?
episode 49.
Episode 49. Who's 49? John Stevens?
Yeah, I think is he John?
Yeah.
Okay, John Stevens. Yeah. Well.
All right, let me do this right. Cowboys Collective, the best Cowboys podcast in the world. What's going on, y'all? Episode 49. Actually, I'm on vacation, so I just had to get my son settled real quick, but we right back. I tried to make sure that the audio was clean. I got the okay from Sky. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Vacation Foots. What's up, man?
Hey, man, you know, vacation is nice, but does work ever really stop, y'all?
Never. No day. You know,
not in this world. You always got to be on your phone because you never know what's gonna pop up. You're on Twitter. You're trying to follow the news. I know for John, it damn sure don't stop because you're always getting updates.
Hollywood premieres on these Netflix movies. Yeah, no, it's.
Hey, John, you got a lot to ask Jerry now. What did you hear? What Denzel had to say?
I did see that. Yeah.
Hey.
You know, can I say something? You know, that's part of the problem, right? Denzel Washington is talking about the Cowboys.
Washington.
Why is that part? Did you hear what he said, though, Foots?
I honestly didn't hear it, but it's just like
he echoed a lot of Cowboys fans' thoughts. Bro.
Did he?
Yeah. He called out Jerry.
I know.
He called out Jerry, man.
Yeah.
And we know, y'all know Jerry doesn't care, right?
He loves it.
He loves this,
bro. he invites that. Oh, Denzel talking about the Cowboys. Run it up.
I don't know if he said this to John, whoever he said it to yesterday, Jerry, but he pretty much reiterated what he said on the trailer and what he said in interviews, which is, hey, controversy sells. We love controversy. If they're not talking about us, I'm going to say something to stir it up. And from time to time, I think fans forget that he says that, and he will remind you. So.
John, how does that make you look at the Cowboy fans by you being, pretty much neutral? How did that come off to you?
Well, for Cowboys fans, I feel bad because the ones I come across, or at least the majority, don't really care about that side of it because they've seen, 35 years of that. And so they're like, yeah, we're all good on that. We want to kind of be famous for winning championships.
Yeah.
And for it to be this long since you've done that, then I think that's the thing where you're like, it's not like they've been awful. They just haven't been able to get over that hump and finally make a run in January. And so I totally get the frustration for Cowboys fans, and that's added up for me over my time covering the team because I look at it this way. I started covering the team in 2011. And so if you look at the history of the Dallas Cowboys, the 60s were, that was the building years. That was, the franchise was founded in 60. So the 60s, they were kind of building. 70s, they were great. 80s took a drop off. 90s, they were great. So you got the 2000s. If you take the drop off, well, then starting in 2010, it should have been great again,
Yeah.
And I jump in at 11. I should just be covering at least a Super Bowl or two by now. So there's a part of me where now that I've been covering the team for 15 years, where I'm just like, hey, anything that Denzel wants to say or any other Cowboys fan, man. And I'll tell you the thing that really put over the top is just these last 2 years in the NFC Championship game. For Washington to get there this last year and then Detroit the year before, those things add to it too. So I'd be the last person to tell any fan, oh, calm down, oh, you're overreacting or whatever. No, you have every right in the greatest league of parity. This isn't baseball where it's like, well, I mean, how are you going to compete with what the Dodgers are spending? This is the greatest league of parity. Like nobody should go as long as they've gone without getting back to at least an NFC Championship game. So I'm open for any fans as famous as Denzel Washington or not to say whatever they want.
Yeah.
Drop
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to argue with that, and especially when it's like, I don't know. It's like Jerry this off season has been a little bit just like blatantly, just like I'm gonna throw it back in players' faces, throw it back in the fans' faces. So, I mean, that's just is what it is. No, unfortunately.
Same old same to me. I didn't see anything different in how he's moving. I agree with John. I said this a lot of time on my shows. If I don't understand fans who get frustrated and mad at fans for being frustrated and mad. I don't get that. Like, how can you be mad at those fans for being upset? It's been since '95, y'all, since we've been to an NFC Championship. I get it, and it's been one constant. So you can't be mad at them for being mad at the one constant. I would never ever try to silence fans for being upset. I'm one of the ones that are upset. It's just that my drive for the love of the game and covering the game, I continue to move forward. But trust and believe me, it ain't because I love the people running the organization. Not at all. Because I love this team. I love this team.
I just think that is interesting how many major networks continue to cover mediocrity because we've been mediocre and they continue to push it and they continue to, it's like the same running joke. But I mean, that's what it because of our great fan base, there are so many fans that will get mad at ESPN and sometimes I get mad at them too, whatever. But we keep putting fuel on that fire. So ESPN, we've been straight down the middle, but they continue to push us.
You got that drop ball? It's Blue Magic, man.
Yeah.
Cowboys are Blue Magic.
That's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it. About is when you chop my dope down.
What's going to be really interesting to me is that, so I've watched all of this Netflix series and I'm fascinated to see how fans are going to receive it because like, there's not really anything in there that any of you three guys are going to be surprised by. Like there's not really anything new that you haven't heard, seen, whatever. Now, maybe for some fans that just kind of followed on the surface, there'll be some stuff in there. But it's not like this, like really this big revealing thing that like, if you follow the Cowboys, there's, most of this stuff, I mean, for me, the gold standard in those type of shows is the Last Dance. And that's part of the reason why it was so great is because you really don't hear from Michael Jordan.
Right.
You hear all the time from Jerry. And you've heard plenty of times from Jimmy and Troy and Emmett and Michael and Dion. So it's like all these key factors in there. You think anybody just named went and tucked away a story in their back pocket for when one day there'd be a documentary? No, they've shared all of these stories. You know what I'm saying? So like,
there's been documentaries,
right,
interviews. These aren't new. Now Netflix is good at this, and I've heard that they've made it look and sound amazing. But for me, it's kind of like the Vince McMahon documentary that came out on Netflix. As a diehard wrestling fan, I've seen this story many a times. I really don't care for that. It was the same old same. Oh, WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan, Vince McMahon, WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan, Vince McMahon. And it's like, I've been here before. I haven't seen it yet. John, you've seen it, but you just basically told everybody, hey, if you follow the Cowboys, if you're a diehard fan, this is nothing new. I don't personally care for it. Maybe I'll watch it next year or something or whatever. I don't.
For you, I would say, Sky, just fast forward to or just go to episode 8. So it's an 8-part series. 8 is where it gets you into like basically bridging the gap to like why has it been so long, whatever. But 1 through 7 is all like 90s stuff,
all stuff we know.
Yeah, I know, Foots, you want to direct this, but
Sky, I did like the Vince McMahon one, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Jump in.
I've seen it all. The only thing that was different from the Vince McMahon one,
I don't follow that at all.
So, Jack,
so there was a lot of stuff in there that I thought was interesting. So that's what I'm saying. Like this, the reason I brought this up is because it goes in with everything like Foots is saying. Is like it's going to be a good example of just like it's going to do numbers. But I'm just saying for like you guys and a lot of the people that are listening right now, there's just a lot of stuff that you've already heard before. But it's going to do numbers because it's the Cowboys, and there'll be a lot of people that don't follow the Cowboys as closely, and they'll be like, "Wow, this is really cool. I didn't know about this. I didn't know that Troy, doesn't remember this NFC Championship game because he got a concussion and he doesn't, but you guys have heard that stuff before, but there's people that won't. There's people that won't, there'll be people that'll be surprised by like, oh, wow, Emmitt Smith held out for 2 games before, coming off the Super Bowl and stuff like that. And wow, this is kind of like Micah Parsons, not, like situation and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, like most of that stuff you guys have already heard, over the years. So,
and John, that's exactly what I was going to ask you for clarity on the Emmitt Smith thing. He said that it's different, that he wasn't under contract. So you mean to tell me the 31 other teams by Emmitt Smith not being under contract? I guess the free agent rules were different during that time frame. They didn't reach out to him. They didn't say, okay, hey, we're going to give you an unbelievable contract since you're a free agent.
That's what it sounds like, because I believe if that was the case and another team could do that or did do that, then he would have used that as leverage and had that to go back to Jerry and be like, hey, look, the Cardinals are offering me this or something like that. But I don't believe so. So I don't remember at that time. I wasn't covering the team obviously back then. Like, I don't know what how much different the rules are now, whereas they're much different now. Whereas like Micah sits out, he's not going to get paid. And if he was to like sit out the entire season, well, the Cowboys would still have his 5th-year option for whenever he wants to play again. And then after that season, they could still franchise tag him again. So like, Emmett even mentioned that yesterday on the blue carpet, talking about how, the rules are just different now, like for things like that. And his thing was a different situation than Micah's, where, and that's all part of the collective bargaining agreement. That's the owners fought for this, so that with those franchise tags, you just have so much more power. Now, granted, how many teams have this situation? It's not like you're not going to be sitting there holding this franchise tag over 52, 53 guys. It's going to be just for like superstar players, but it is one of those things that it gives the teams the advantage to not let the player leave. So,
a lot of this stuff here it at a point it just gets to where it's just stressful, right? And watch how I do this, guys. If you're dealing with stress, you know what I mean? We want to help you guys, right? Now, I'm not saying that you have to do this, but if you're 21, you're 21 years or older.
Remember,
and law is sick, John, in the cloud, right? I'm gonna tell you, no sketchy, nothing, no surprises. The THC levels, they have different THC levels. So they got gummies, they got, pretty much just make sure your kids don't get it, right? But they have stuff that, this stuff it'll ease you. It'll ease you of the world of Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the Micah contract. It'll ease you. Promo code Cowboys Collective, and get 25% off your first order. And listen, they shipped us an order, and I'm not gonna say on live that I've used it. I'm not gonna say if I have or haven't, but let's just say I'm real calm. And that's all I'm gonna say, John. I'm gonna leave it there in the cloud. Thank you for sponsoring the Cowboys Collective.
Okay.
John,
now,
John,
when does crack? Now, so the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play for you?
Hey, yo, hey, John,
wait a minute.
Yo, Steele is a nut. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna shift gears.
I haven't used
that was the one. Hey, John, what's going on? Boots on the ground. It looks like it was a lot going on. We're gonna talk about the preseason game. That's basically what the show is gonna be about. But what's going on? We talked pre-game about a few injury situations. Is there any movement on Micah? Just boots on the ground in Oxnard. Talk to us, John Machota. Here's Johnny.
Gotcha.
Nothing new on Micah. He was out there at practice today, which is kind of funny because there were some times where he was out there, didn't have his jersey on, then he had his jersey on. And today he had his jersey on, but he only had like one arm through it, so it was kind of just like wearing it over his shoulder. I don't know if that's part of the negotiating. I don't think that's going to work. Jerry wasn't even at practice today, so I don't know if that even matters. So no movement with Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. And every day there isn't movement, the more and more I think it could potentially be an Emmett thing where there is no new contract when the season starts, and the Cowboys are like, well, Micah's under contract. We expect him to be on the field against Philadelphia.
Chris Jones did miss a game.
No, it's possible.
And got paid. So I don't think Micah's going to miss a season. I don't want to say I'll be shocked, because at this point, nothing would shock me, but it still feels like this could go to the wire like Dak Prescott last year.
I just think it'd be very hard for him also to sit out. It's not only your season opener, it's your season opener against the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's your season opener on Thursday Night Football. It's the first game of the entire season. I will be very because I asked Emmett last night, I'm like, how hard was it to sit out those two games, And he was just talking about how I was miserable, he knew he had to do it to get, the contract he thought he deserved, especially coming off the season that they had. But yeah, that's going to be so hard for him to do that. So I don't expect that to happen. I think he will be out on the field. Now, he would be very frustrated if it comes to that, but that is a possibility. But no new movement there. Injury wise, I'd say the biggest positive recently was earlier today. Miles Sanders got back out on the field. So he was back in pads. Jaden Blue still not there yet. Brevin Spanford still not there yet. And then same thing for Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton's been doing some of their, I guess, walkthrough stuff and that, but he's not to the level of where he's going to return to practice, anytime soon. Now, when I say soon, I mean like within the next few weeks. I mean, there is a chance he could possibly be ready for the opener. No one's saying that, but it seems like everything's going in a good direction. He's not. I've seen him walking around stuff like that. He doesn't have a limp. He's not. It didn't even look like he was wearing any type of a brace. He's not on crutches or anything like that. So all good signs for him, especially considering how scary and that injury was and how it initially seemed like a season ender. Trying to think what other.
I know I asked you about Elijah Clark. You said
nothing on Elijah Clark. I haven't heard anything new on him. Trying to think if there's any other ones out of the game. Was it Sadiq Charles? I think it was.
Yeah,
I heard about.
Yeah, hyperextended his knee.
Wow.
That's not a season ender, but I thought it was at the moment because of the way he was, how frustrated it was, and how he spiked his helmet against the ground when he got in the medical tent. But it sounds like that's not nearly as bad as it initially looked. So I feel like I'm not forgetting anybody else there. I mean, heck, my big thing, like when I was watching that preseason game, is I started writing down a list of who I thought are the 25 most important Dallas Cowboys players. And
all
Brandon
of them.
Aubrey was the only one that was of that list that actually played in the game.
Let's put a pin in that, John.
Yeah, all right.
Please
I have plenty of thoughts about that.
I do too.
So we didn't get into that. But yeah, in terms of injuries outside of that, nothing really new. Fortunately, today looked pretty good on the practice fields. Didn't look like anybody suffered anything. Jalen Brooks is somebody today that was not in pads, so there's something there with him. But everybody else, pretty much.
There's something about Jalen Brooks. I say like I said about the running backs. You can't afford to get hurt.
Facts.
You cannot afford. I understand. And we talked about this last week. I understand. He has the inside track because of special teams, but you miss a week of practice, another game, and then that Trayshawn Holden keeps his foot on your neck.
Yeah, okay. Well, even to a degree, Josh Kelly. John, I want to ask you this though, right quick. And what are the ramifications like, far as money wise, that Parsons may lose out if he decide to hold out, like not play in the game? How much would it cost for him?
I don't know what it is exactly for the game.
I know 50,000 is different on practice, but we talking about game checks.
It'd be way more than that for a game check. Way
but if he ain't willing to risk 50,000 at practice, he's showing up for practice.
Yeah.
We assume he's gonna risk millions for the games. I don't know.
I don't see that happening.
Put me on the jersey.
You know what he'll do, Law? You know what if he's gonna do that? Hey, my back still hurt, man. I don't know if I can get out there week one, man. That might be the thing, but I don't see him just like I'm sitting at home Le'Veon Bell style.
The tough part about that, though, I think will be for him is that also it's the team side of it too, where he's obviously close with guys on the team, and they obviously have a better chance of winning football games that matter when they're out there playing and Micah's with them. So while I maintain, I still think this is Micah Parsons versus Jerry Jones as opposed to Micah Parsons versus the Cowboys. I think that it'll be tough for him to not be out there with his brothers too. That's the other part of that. You don't really have that up till that point when they go on the field, because I said, we'll get in the preseason game, but like, even with that, these practices out here, the practice with the Rams, none of it is like what you're going to see Thursday night in Philadelphia. Nothing. Yeah. There's nothing close to it. Like the way that the offseason, the way the training camp and all that stuff structured, there's just nothing that's like an actual game. Nobody tackles to the ground. Even like I posted a clip today. The highlighted today's practice was this deep ball that Dak threw to George Pickens. You can just tell the way Jerron Bland is defending that. He's not defending it like he would in a real game. Like he kind of pulls away. Like he's not really trying to like knock it loose and stuff like that. Like Thursday night in Philadelphia is going to be way different than anything we've seen this offseason.
Yeah. And even listen to Matt Eberflus. He said it, bro. Like we can't tackle. Matt Eberflus, he'll tell you the real if you listen.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, we're tackling too high. We're not getting good pad level, and it's because of what the NFL wants us to do.
Do any of you guys know if any other teams tackle during camp? Because I just don't. I don't get that. I feel like you should be tackling at camp. Man.
That's
From
my
all the
biggest
writers I've
issue
talked
with
to-
all of it, Sky.
Yeah, from all the writers I've talked to, and I don't know about this year, but in the past, going back to last season and beyond, Pittsburgh's the one that's real physical. But you can also get fined for that. You can also lose practices and all that. So I mean, there's
also the CBA says no tackling. Period.
Yeah, so there's a lot.
Who in touch?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into play there. That it's not really just oh, your coaching staff soft or something like that. There's rules against this stuff, you know.
Which is so. I guess we could transition, John, and thank you for boots on the ground. Here's Johnny. I have a few issues with the preseason game, and I'll go first, and then we'll get to our good, the bad, and the ugly as far as players wise. But just the overall. All right, so there's the league side of it where, like Eberflus said, you can't tackle, and it showed. Like we didn't tackle well.
Right.
Yeah, and it showed. And I appreciate him being candid. But then, when I looked at just the amount of players that didn't play, and I had a problem with that. Now, is it a major problem? Not a major problem, but Tyler Booker, he's a rookie, need to play. I did not understand that.
By that, Foots.
Yeah.
When I saw him come walk out of the tunnel and not have his pads on, I can't even think of a first round pick that hasn't played in that first preseason game.
Right.
For the Cowboys. This is unprecedented for Dallas. Look, their 4th overall pick in 2016 played in the opening season game, man. And Tony got hurt. But I mean, just unbelievable that they did not play him.
Yeah, no reason, John, not to play. I also didn't like that Maris Luafau played as long as he did, it was clear he was heading above everybody else on the field. Physicality, filling gaps. He played a long time. Guys like Jack Sanborn, why didn't he play, John? That was weird to me. I mean, is he?
I think he's starting Mike, but I still think he should have played.
Yeah. So and Scott, I'm with that, but like, what are we doing? Like
Javonte Williams. We have
Williams
open competition at running back. Every running back that's available should be playing.
Unless it's already premeditated of who's going to win their job.
I was going to say, Javonte spot looks real solid with the
That's
why.
Fine.
Why, John?
Could they did last year?
Not playing.
No. After you go, Scott, get your point out. But I want to know, why is Javonte Williams? Is it the physicality, John? Because we haven't seen now we're
Miles has been hurt. Jaden Blue's been hurt. It's not like you're going to run Phil Maffa with the ones. He hasn't done enough yet, although he did some good things in that game.
But that ain't the real ones in preseason. That ain't the real ones. That
it also isn't the line that he would have. But
and then just all the times that whether it's a walkthrough, whether it's shells, whether it's full pads, that Javonte is always the first back up. He's always with the ones. So that's why I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that I definitively tell you he will be their leading rusher, but I'd be very surprised if he's not the back. Very first play against Philadelphia. I'd be very surprised if he's not.
John, it's been written a few places that it's looking like he's going to be the starting running back. Let me ask you this still. Is it because of pass pro?
I just think I said this a long time ago. He's the most trustworthy back in the backfield because, I get Sanders had the most productive year of the group. But if you go look at their play styles, for whatever reason, Philly fans, if you in here, you can tell me, Miles didn't play a ton on third downs a lot. That was I forget Gainwell and a couple other guys. Even when the year he had a big year, I think they had a backup who also did some good things that season too. They were asking for him to get in more, but Miles only had 1 year where he caught the ball a lot. It was his rookie year. After that, he wasn't a pass catchy guy. Javonte Williams has had like 100 receptions in the past 2 seasons or whatever it may have been. A lot of third down pass protection roles. And obviously he has the lead back grinder mode build and he plays that way. So it's not a surprise to me that Javonte could be that lead guy. And if it was up to me right now, he would be the lead guy.
Yeah. Look, I get it, man. A lot of people not going to say his name, but Malik Davis, man, to me, I always liked his skill set. I always liked the way he run in between the splits and bouncing to the outside. John, do you think that is there any chance for him to make this particular running back room?
I don't think so. Not without another injury. And I just said it because, like, I just put out a 53 on Monday, and I have them keeping 5 if you count Hunter Lepke, and that so that I have them keeping Phil Maffa. I could see them not keeping Maffa if Jaden Blue's ready to go week 1, Miles Sanders is ready to go week 1. I could see them going with Javonte, Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue, Hunter Lepke as the 4 running backs on the roster, at least the initial 53, in hopes of getting Phil Maffa over to the practice squad, or that they could look at Phil Maffa as like, we don't think we can get him back, and our running back room is so wide open, and then maybe they go there. But I don't see a way they go to add another running back on top of that, and I don't think Malik Davis would make it over Phil Maffa.
Well, this game right here versus the Ravens, this should be the Deuce Vaughn preview show. They should give him a full quarter. Just run him.
Hey, facts, Law. I want to go back to something that John and Scott just said. No, stay there too, Law, because Deuce is kind of the one in limbo. But Scott just said something. I took that down in my mental notes. It would probably be Javonte Williams. Do we see a world now where the 1-2 punch looks like it's going to be Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue? And are we okay with that? Because I think I could wrap my head around that, guys, especially if, you know what I mean, Scott? Especially if, like, okay, we're going to run all this gap seam stuff. If you tell me that what I saw from Phil Maffa, if Jaden Blue is a souped up version of that, physical, run between his pad, run behind his pads, lean on defenses, and then you still get what you get from CD and Pickens. Because let's be real, I tweeted out today after you tweeted out, that catch from Pickens. This offense is no secret. It's going to run through our receiving core with CD and Pickens. So who can be the guy that just wears on defenses and just gets the tough 4? I don't know if we're going to get the long runs. And I saw somebody in the comments, guys, I'm in beautiful Hawaii. Let me just tease y'all real quick. All right, Hawaii, that's all you get.
Hawaii.
I'm in Hawaii. Just tease y'all real quick. But hey. But listen though, so like, how do you feel about that, Sky? Like, if that's the case, right? Are we okay with that?
I think that's the best case scenario right now. Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue, your 1-2 punch, and whoever that third guy may be, whether it's Maffa. I'm one of those that say they should only carry one of the veterans. So it's either going to be Sanders or Williams, in my opinion. I guess they could go with Sanders and Williams and Blue, but then are they going to play veteran, politics over? Blue needs to be at the very least that change of pace back. So he's my 2. I've been saying that. I'm standing 10 toes on that. I've already explained to you why I believe Javonte Williams can be the lead guy, third down guy, pass protection, catch out the backfield, heavy behind the pads, runs hard. Everything you saw Phil Maffa do, Javonte Williams does that with more maturity. He does that with more experience. So, I love the rookie. And in fact, I wouldn't be mad if he was your 3, if they wanted to go that route, to keep some fresh legs and young legs and mix it in. And if something happened to Williams, you have that power mentality with Phil Maffa. Now it's a young backfield if it happens to Williams, but I'm totally on board with Williams Blue being 1-2 at this point.
I just think they feel the reason I keep Sanders on the roster is I think that they're going to look at it as, all right, week 1, week 2, week 3, Javonte Williams goes down in like the second or third quarter of a game, which is something that keeps him out for a little bit. I think that they're going to feel more comfortable with a veteran running back there. Whereas like Jaden Blue, they probably will after, a handful of weeks, and he's, stay, as long as he's healthy and all that. It's just that early part of the season, and then how important that early part of the season is. Like you said, they have to feel very confident what they can do with the passing game. I just think the veteran running back, even though maybe it's not the player with the most upside, I think they're going to lean in that direction because, hey, let's get the guys out here and know exactly what they're doing. They're not going to get a false start. They're going to know where to line up in these situations. There's nothing that this team's going to do that's going to surprise them. And as the season goes on, then we'll get the younger guys playing more. But I just do not think they want to be in a situation on a Thursday night in Philadelphia where Javonte Williams has come out of the game, and now Phil Maffa is going against, the Eagles in the first quarter. I don't think they wanted to have to do that.
I got a quick thought on that after the law goes.
Oh, I was going to say, well, John, the Costco sample size that I was able to see, the footage that you put out there on Jaden Blue, he looked very limpy, and it didn't look like he can put any weight on that leg, and it looks like he's going to need at least 2 weeks before we get a chance to see him. And one of the things that we've been talking about when we first started this video is about tackling. Like, we haven't seen Jaden Blue get tackled yet. And can he do these things on a consistent basis? Because one of our reservations been, can he not put the ball on the ground? So I do echo your sentiments, whereas we probably need veterans on this team as it relates to running back, because we can't just go into this season with Jaden Blue and Javonte Williams and a team of unproven backs like Deuce Vaughn and these sorts of things.
And if he didn't have that injury, I could see Blue being where he needs to be by week 1, because he was trending in a really good direction, especially since the pads have come on. But the injury is just such a setback, because now you're not out there practicing. And much like, Brian Schottenheimer talks about with Joe Milton needing all these reps, it's the same way with a young running back like that. For you to feel comfortable, okay, week 1, against the defending Super Bowl champs, we're going to put you out there,
Right.
If Blue can't go, then Sanders is that. I think that's because he gives you the compliment to a Javonte Williams. Blue can't go week 1. I don't think they're going to cut Sanders. If Blue is healthy, a week or two before week 1, I don't think it's out the equation to move on from Sanders. If Javonte's running back 1 and Maffa keeps impressing, then the reason why I wanted to bring this up, we saw Sanders lose out in the competition room in Carolina. And he's since had told about how it waned on him mentally. And I think you could see it in his play. I didn't think he was the same runner. I didn't think he ran with the same mentality. I do wonder if he is your running back 3 here and he doesn't play a whole lot. Is he going to be that same guy we saw in Carolina who is just not really into it because he believes he can be somewhere else to play? So I do wonder if that process goes in his mind, week 1 and he gets on a depth chart and he's RB3 and he doesn't play much. Does he say, hey, look, if this is how you guys feel, let me go play somewhere else? Because he is a veteran and he hasn't been in this situation much. He went to Carolina to be the starter and got his spot taken. So I do wonder the psyche aspect of it. How that
Sky, you may have a chance and an opportunity. I think the Dolphins, they got somebody to get hurt, right? Somebody lost their running back. Was it Alexander somebody?
Madison
or something. Somebody's looking
really
for
sure.
Alexander Madison. Yeah.
Somebody who
deep in the backfield.
Oh,
right?
they do have a deep backfield. I forgot about that. Yeah.
With Chain, Jalen Wright, them two. Jalen Wright was like the 3rd round pick or something, 4th round pick.
Yeah. Tennessee
when is cut day?
The final cut day is August 26th.
I think that's the only cut day.
I don't like the new ruling where you cut everybody on one day. Because it's kind of it's going to be a run to I like the waiveries of cuts, but you cut everybody on one day. There's 37 people get from 90 to 53, right? So that's what 1,100 some people out there that you had to pick through to see whether or not they can help your team out within a week to get prepared for week 1.
Scouting got their work cut out for them.
I like this way because
cut you don't have like draft day.
I don't mind it because you don't have to tap into the depth of your roster. Back when they switched, it used to be like this full time. Then they switched it, and it was like 2 or 3 cuts. And what happened was you get to that last game, and you're like, well, shit, we got to play our second team because we don't have enough players. We only got 70 players. So instead of playing, 85 to 90, we have to play possibly a guy who's going to be on this roster, right? So back when it was 4 games, and they did that. You get to the 4th game, you don't have enough bodies to not play your second team linebacker, to not play you know what I'm saying? Your special teams guy. Where now you can say, I bet. We know Maris is on this team. We know Shamar going to make the team. We 4th preseason game, we'll go ahead and play these guys that aren't going to make the team or has a chance, and this is their last opportunity to show something. So I actually don't mind it, personally.
Yeah. The way you broke it down, you made me realize that, it's a good thing to have, Dan, because you want depths. Yeah.
Very good stuff, guys. Very good stuff. And like you said, Law, I mean, there's a few players out there who I think can help us. I just think the pro personnel department will have to, do what they do. This is what Will and those guys get paid to do. And we got to go find us a gym or two. And speaking of which, we finally got to see live football. And, I I had thoughts. I started with my irritation of the players that didn't play, and I got grumpy off of that, right, Lon? I was irritated. And then I watched the football on the field, and Joe Milton spraying footballs everywhere. So what I want to do is we're going to go around the panel, and we're going to go good, bad, ugly. Everybody's going to give me 3 players, and then we'll kind of base our conversation there. And then come back tomorrow. Quick note, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. We won't be here Thursday, and we'll be talking about the up-and-coming preseason game and anything that we didn't talk about today. And anybody who thinks I'm in Annapolis, I'm not in Annapolis. Trust me. There's palm trees back here, baby. So I'm gonna go with my good, bad, and the ugly, and then I'll start it like that. So my good, guys, Maris Louisville. I hit on it, but you need him to make this second-year jump. Coming out of college, Notre Dame played kind of wild, didn't trust his keys, didn't read his keys. He clearly, the game has slowed down for him. He still has that wild, on fire vibe, but now he's playing more under control. Like, it's a good balance. He had a play where he blitzed and literally destroyed Blake Corum, like lifted him off his feet, affected the pass. It was clear he was the best player on the field until they actually took him off the game. He just was flying around. So I really love that part of his game. The bad, to me, this is going to be kind of nitpicky, but I didn't like that we threw the ball so much early. And the only reason why I say that is because I just wanted to see Joe Milton didn't play well, but I just want to see him getting a better rhythm. And also, to be honest, Brian Schottenheimer hasn't called plays in a long time. I want to see him getting a rhythm. I want to see him getting the bad. So that was kind of like my bad. And then the ugly, the defensive tackle position. Like, we all waited and were praying that Jay Toia would be great. I just hate to tell y'all, like, watching the film, he was getting moved around a lot. Like, there's people out there, oh, the linebackers got to step up. Nah, brother. Like, he was getting pushed back 3 to 4 yards, and he'll learn how to play those blocks. Mozzie spoke today. Mozzie wasn't great. So just in my opinion, those are my 3. I really like Maris. I think that I want to see Brian call a cleaner game for Joe Milton. Joe Milton needs to be better. He wasn't good. He was spraying balls literally everywhere. Pause that. Don't clip that up. Spraying balls everywhere. Foots, what are you talking about? It's crazy. And then the D tackle play. Like, they ran so much duo, Sky. You know we talk about duo and inside zone. And they just moved us. And then their backs were patient between gaps. It was a clinic, man. And a backup clinic. So that's not good.
Yeah.
That's my good, bad, and ugly. John or Sky or Law, whoever wants to go.
I'll tell you what the ugly was. CD getting smoked by that ref.
Oh my God.
I promise you that was a harder hit than the Kenneth Murray hit on Jake Ferguson and knocked Ferguson out of that practice. So they're lucky to escape that thing with no issues there. That was the ugly for me. The good, no question. I agree with you 100%. It's Maris Louisville. That was the thing that stood out most to me. I will say, if Milton is a little bit more on, I think Ryan Flanoy could have been a good, because I do think he got open and probably could have had some better numbers than he did. The deep ball, even though Milton probably shouldn't have thrown that because he had a check down and he didn't need to throw that in double coverage, Flanoy still had a chance to catch that. That is a ball I think CD and George Pickens catch, but
I was actually impressed with how accurate he got.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Bro, he has throws that you're like, how?
What is that?
At first I was like, what the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What is that?
So yeah, the good for me would definitely be Louisville. I'm just gonna piggyback off what you said there. I couldn't agree more. That's like, to me, it's not even anything close to that. He just jumped off to me. I don't know if it's just the preseason game or just in general, but the bad to me is really like how none of these DBs have really stepped up. Like, none of these corners. And I guess I shouldn't say none, because there have been moments where Zion Childress has, where you're like, okay, yeah, I could see him potentially making. I mean, I had him on my 53 on Monday, so. But that room is just so much playing time is there for the taking. And nobody seems to really be taking it. And when I say DBs, I mean mainly the corners.
John, who's your third DB right now?
Third corner?
Yeah, cornerback. Yeah, cornerback. Yeah. Ooh, it's hard, huh?
That's healthy. That's going to be available for week 1.
Yeah. See, it's tough.
Let me go get the roster here. I mean, yeah, because the top one is definitely Deron Bland, Kyrie Elam's 2. Kalen Carson's still hurt.
Mm.
I mean, just because of the experience, you probably got to throw Andrew Booth out there. But I feel
Oh,
better.
no.
But
Israel McQuamie. If we going through experience, just give me Izzy out there.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say that if you're not taking that either, I probably would go with Childress.
Yeah,
He's shown me something. I will say this about kind of like the Javonte Williams thing. Him not playing speaks volumes. How much Izzy was playing kind of spoke to me. Where like, okay, don't you already think that he's going to be a big part of the team? Why do you need to see him this much in the game? Like, especially in the second half.
Do you think it's because this is a new staff?
It could be. It could be. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be in the mix. Like, I have him on the team. Don't get me wrong. But like, there's just been moments where I was like, oh, I could see Keemon Hall, or I could see, Troy Pride, but there's really, it's not consistent enough to feel that way. So I would definitely right now say that the third best corner for them week 1 will be somebody that's not on the roster right now. I'll be stunned if they don't make a move for a corner.
This is a live resume for these guys. So, I mean, by Izzy catching that INT, he can showcase it. His agent should be out there saying, okay, Cowboys, but we're going to try to showcase it to someone else, see if they can offer up a trade. It could be a situation like that. Yeah, a 1-year deal or whatever it may be. And that's the same with all of these wide receivers we got. The good for me is Trayshawn Holden. He elevated his situation upwardly. So, the bad for me is just the decision from the coaching staff. You got to get your quarterback in rhythm first, so run the ball, do what's best for him, get him under center. I think I know a lot of people canned on Milton, but once he got his feet settled and got comfortable a little bit, you saw him going through his progressions just a little bit better. But I think the way Milton is able to develop here is with play action. And if you take that away from him, he's going to look like he looked the other night. So now the good thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that we can look at Milton from week 1 to week 2, and we're going up against a little bit more feistier defense. So that's what I got for my good, the bad, ugly.
My good, you kind of touched on a bit there, is Zion Childress. I thought honestly he was your most consistent defensive player. He's a rookie, and Maris didn't play.
That's a good one. Still, that's a good one.
I don't know how you pop on the tape and look at Zion and not be super impressed. And obviously the coaches believe that too. Shadi talked about how some guys that are going to be moving up the depth chart, and he was one of them. Apparently, he was out there getting some rec with the first team today at practice, and I felt like he earned that from that game, and obviously from other practices and training camp. 6 tackles, a tackle for loss, really physical against the run. I mean, he was.
I was just about to ask you, guys. Speak on what you like about Childress, because I think people need to understand what he does well.
He was really physical against probably the run. The run film was probably the most fun to watch, but also you gotta go look. They didn't target him a whole lot, but he was probably your best cover corner too. I thought he was more twitchier and more instinctive than maybe some of the other guys out there. And he fits the mold of what Eberflus wants for a slot corner. He wants that slot corner to kind of be that overhang defender that's going to be physical and come down and hit. That's why I think Bland is perfect for the slot, by the way, in Flus's defense. I think it's perfect. Yeah. But either neither here nor there, as Law would say. Childress, I think, is earning his way on this roster. And if they don't address it with a veteran, if Izzy's not going to be the guy, because if you listen to Eberflus, Izzy I think he called him a jack of all trades or something like that. So he called him I can't forget what the word was, but essentially he's going to be a guy they move around. He doesn't have a home. Childress' home looks like the slot. I just really think he has the tools, maybe not to be Jordan Lewis year 1, but keep this guy around. So he's definitely my good. My bad was the first quarter defense. It was atrocious. They went down 11 plays the first drive, 70-some yards, touchdown. Second drive, 13 plays, 60-some yards, touchdown. Took up like almost 12 minutes off the clock. You couldn't stop a lick. It was bad, man. And this was with, the veterans out there, Maris Leofau, and who did play well. Don't get me wrong. There was a play though where the Blake Crum touchdown. That was on Maris, in my opinion. He kept trying to guess too much. He guessed wrong, tried to jump on the outside, and he just left the lane completely wide open, and Corum just went unabated. But other than that, you had, Clark just did not look good in that series. We talked about the D-line. They weren't getting, too much push. The coverage was atrocious. Those first 2 series, just the first quarter defense was just really, really bad in general. And then the ugly, Joe Milton in the first 2.5 quarters. It was ugly, man. It was ugly. And I don't necessarily think it had anything to do with nothing but Joe. The protection was fine. Receivers were open. I'm not a fan of 6 straight passes. I get that at all.
Right.
But on the other side of that, I don't think we're talking about that if he just connects. I mean, there were people open. There was his decision making was poor. Instead of just taking, the dump off to the running back or the dump off to the tight end, you're trying to force it into Jalen Tolbert and double, triple coverage. You're trying to force it into the deep throw. I don't think it had nothing to do really with a regression from Joe. I just think he was just too amped up or something, because what we have been seeing in camp, we didn't see in the first 2.5 quarters. So that was ugly. But once he settled down, you start seeing, okay, now you're taking what the defense is giving.
Right.
You found that touch, right? You're not out there throwing a fastball, and he looked much better. But that's my good, bad, and ugly.
Let me ask you this.
I was getting kind of bored during the game. And so I was thinking about just looking at the 2 rosters. I'm interested to hear your guys' take on this. So again, I was getting bored with the game. That Rams roster just does not blow me away on the paper. Okay. I'm saying everybody gets to play for both teams.
Right.
So this is what I was thinking about during the game. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I don't think that the Cowboys right now, there's just a lot of moving parts. I think a lot of things would have to go right for me to legitimately think of them as a Super Bowl contender. But if you told me that they had Sean McVay, I might think that they are. I think he is such a big part of what they do and the success that they have. I tweeted out the top 29 guys that for the Cowboys that didn't play in that game. And there's multiple people that responded to me. And as you guys know, I'm not one that I don't go back and forth with people on Twitter. I don't waste my time with that. Multiple people that responded to me. Well, who didn't play for the Rams? You put the top 20, top 30 Cowboys next to the top 20 or top 30 Rams. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Go ahead off the top of your head right now and tell me all the guys in the defense that are household names on the Rams that you even know. Outside of Jared Verse.
Outside of Jared Verse.
Do people even really know Braden Fisk like that?
No, first it'll be their defensive line.
Their D line is really good.
Up and coming.
Yeah, the linebacking core isn't great.
If you write down the names, it's not like their defensive line is Von Miller.
Their defense was not great.
Aaron
last
Donald.
year. The defense was not great.
And the run defense wasn't great last year.
And then on offense, it's they have Devontae Adams, but they also don't have the Cooper Kupp that they had 2 or 3 years ago. Also, Matthew Stafford is a guy who he is in the part of his career who, when you tell me he's going to play the entire season, I'm like, yeah, Matthew Stafford's a dog still. But you don't know that he's going to be able to play the entire season. He's in that part of his career where it's just
17
any
years.
potential game, you're just oh, well, yeah, he's out now because of where he's getting in his age and health-wise. And I like Kyron Williams, and I obviously like Puka Nacua, and I like Higbee, but I do not look at their roster and put it in there with the Eagles or the Lions or the top of the NFC.
Talent-wise,
talent-wise,
they've beaten the Rams at their best. Last few times, right? So I mean, and
Sean
McVay is the one. Yeah, he's so dynamic. He is what you call a coach's coach. Energy, culture, scheme.
But let me say this: he is what we hope that Shotty can become.
In development too, in development, and it showed the way their backups played.
Maker, we talk about coaching matters. That's he's one of those ones where yes, it matters, man.
It does.
Oh yeah, it totally matters.
You guys 3, what's your thoughts on number 41, Donovan Ezaraku in this game?
I was disappointed, and I just say it because I had seen him do stuff in practice where I thought there'd be at least a splash play or two. But with that being said, it is also his very first game. And I'm sure there's some things that happen in the game that he wasn't expecting and stuff like that. I think he will be a guy that as the season goes along, he'll be a great complement to the other edge rushers they have, because he's going to come into some games and some instances where he's going to be fresh and he's going to put a spin move or just use his athleticism on someone, and he's going to get right to the quarterback. And we've seen that. And obviously he led college football in sacks last year. I mean, for a reason. Yeah. So I'm not putting too much in it. I'm just saying, it's kind of like with Joe Milton with me. I went in with high expectations. So
for sure.
I don't think that they and I really across the board, other than Maris Leaf, I don't think anybody really blew you away in that game anyway. So I'm interested to see the second one now, because now you have a game under your belt. A lot of those same guys will play. I bet you Izaraku is going to make at least one play in this next preseason game that stands out.
It goes back to Law. To answer your question, what John's saying about McVay, they run so much play action. They move the pocket so much. They max protect. They do so many like witty things that if you're a new pass rusher, you don't know how to. Oh wait, whoa, oh this is misdirection. Oh whoa, and somebody's leaking out to the flat. So that's kind of like even like when I was watching the film on Shamar James and like how they stress you out with motion. They had a play where just a simple motion, play with his eyes, duo, just like window dressing the same plays over and over again. Right. So, yeah, I mean, I see in the preseason it's tough in that way because you don't want to read too much into it. I definitely did hear Matt Eberflus say, "Hey, we kept it vanilla." And Shotty said this much: we want to see guys go out, make tackles, play it out of base, and so that's the part. I don't think they were stunned. And it's funny because I think the Rams, right, especially on defense, they were sending the house. They were sending corners. They were blitzing. I'm like, okay, it's interesting. And, some of that is just gamesmanship. But
they want to win their first game at home, too, though.
I don't need Matt Eberflus to open up the playbook to see Izaraku win one-on-one, to see Izaraku, handle, tight ends, to see Izaraku get involved in the run game, things like that. I don't think it was a bad game for Izzy. If you want to use disappointing because expectations, I don't think that's fair, right? Because I definitely did want to see him in pure pass rush mode do his thing. But like you said, Foots, if you really watched the game, they weren't giving you opportunities to do that. When you talk about being vanilla, the Rams weren't. People know who the Rams are. McVay doesn't care. He's going to run pre-snap motion. He's going to run snap action, play action, misdirection, by the way, which absolutely killed the linebackers. It did. Killed the linebackers. Yeah. And it also had an effect on some of the DE sometimes. What I did like about Izaraku in this game, given all of the kind of window dressing things and game planning things that I thought were happening with the Rams, is his motor was still on fire. He was running to the defensive line. There was a few players, I'm not going to stir no trouble up, where it's like, hey, man, shed the damn block and hustle to the rock. Why are we fighting with your man through the end of the play? Get off the guy and run to the ball. Izzy was doing that. Izzy was hustling. He was showing that motor. So I give him credit there. But I think John is spot on here. Don't take anything. Don't say anything. Don't take too much from this because he's not going to be the best pass rusher on the field on game day. He'll have 2 or 3 other guys out there that'll be drawing more attention than him. So now he might be getting one-on-one. He might be the stunt guy. He might be the blitz guy. He might be the wide 9 guy using that for those fresh legs and that speed to power or that ghost or whatever tool he wants to use, and he'll be more impactful in that way. Izzy's not going to be a starter this year, nor should he be to start off the season. Let's revisit in week 10.
Hey, but for this weekend, let people know about SeatGeek on how they can get these tickets for the game to see.
Yeah. Cowboys. Hey, look, the Cowboys are back in Dallas for the next 2 preseason games. And if you guys need to get some tickets, only one place to go this year, and that's what our guys SeatGeek, ladies and gentlemen. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. They've got more than 70,000 events from football to other sports, concerts, festivals, whatever you name it, they got it. Download the app, head on over. The regular season's here. MLB is fired up right now too. They got going. And if you want to grab a ticket, make sure you find the green dots. The green dots mean good. Yeah. The red dots mean bad. Stop. Don't even go over there and look at it. Get all the good deals with the green dots. Plus, their tickets are backed by their buyer guarantee. All you got to do, use the promo code Cowboys Collective. You get $20 off your first purchase. And John said this before. The beautiful thing about SeatGeek is that it gives you exactly what it says. There is no extra anything. They are going to give you whatever they say at the end of all of the purchases. So use that promo code Cowboys Collective. SeatGeek got you. Cowboys Collective got you. Salute.
Come on with it.
You guys ever, like when you're talking on your phone or you're texting or whatever like that about something, and then all of a sudden you get like an ad sent to you and you're like, I know this thing's listening to me. So,
man.
So, so
me and my wife say our FBI agents watching.
Yeah,
they listen.
So we get our parking passes for training camp through SeatGeek, and it comes at different times during the day for the next day. As soon as Sky starts talking about it, they just sent me mine. So I literally, my phone just buzzed on the SeatGeek app saying that I got my parking pass.
That's
this thing is listening, man. It knows
insane.
what's going on here, man.
Hey, John, did anything just send you a text saying that Cowboys Collective is the best podcast in the world? If it didn't, you guys should be sending
this. It just came through.
It just came through, y'all. Check it out.
Listen, the best pod in the world. You guys make sure that you guys leave us a 5-star wherever you're listening. It could be Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening. If you're getting a workout in, this is the best Cowboys pod. We don't see any competition. The number one. This is us. And now this is what I want to do, John. And Law. Actually, Law, I want to start with you here. Mozzie spoke today. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room. I love Sky's tweet. It sounds like he's taking accountability. The problem is this, Law.
I was about to say, hold on.
Bro, the problem, hey, John, we gonna keep it real on the collective now.
Don't bring up my tweet.
I'm not gonna bring up Sky's tweet, but I will say this. He's taking accountability, but bro, the problem is we about 3 years too late, and it's time. Yeah. Law, what are we doing at D tackle? And Sky jump in. I mean, I love you, Mozzie. I really do.
Yeah.
But my God.
You guys go. I just want to say this one thing real quick about it. The other thing I just need to add in too is it's not like there's been like you've had rookies in the past too. There's been like a major injury setback that's like really stunted their growth. There's been none of that either. You know what I'm saying? Like where you're like, well, he didn't play for, he was out for half the season or something. There hasn't been any of that either as you're entering year 3. But yeah, go ahead.
Facts.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the DB play or cornerback play. I just hope that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones evaluate this team to a degree to know that the defensive tackle that's starting for this team is not on his team right now. I'm glad that Mozzie said that what he said, but actions speak louder than words. And he's been pushed around, moved around, and that defensive tackle spot is a glaring hole. That's why I brought up the question about Izaraku, because that's a pivotal draft pick at number 2, because we could have either went with D tackle, we could have went with cornerback. You see what I'm saying? Or we could have went with running back. So if 41 don't pan out, this year is going to be troubling for us. And on top of that, I think he will, though. But if Mozzie don't step up this season, it's going to be crazy for us. So I think that the Cowboys, during cut day, we need to be in the drawing pool for defensive tackle, if not
Law. They took Azaraku in the second because they knew that they were never going to pay Mozzie, so they needed a replacement. Okay, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Off the top.
I'm joking.
Oh my gosh!
Cut it up.
Cut it up.
Kidding. Breaking news. I was playing with you.
I'm kidding.
It's going viral now. Yeah.
We got 500 people on here, John. Everybody doesn't joke the same way we do.
That's true.
I'll say this about D tackle.
Right.
I just think that it's a lot like the Tolbert stuff, and we didn't get a chance to get into it. I think we've been patient. People have been patient to a T. There's a lot of Twitter wars going on about the film. If you got to do all this, if you got to do all this, it just is what it is, bro. At this point, you got to go get somebody in there to shore it up. And I just think you need somebody in there who won't get moved. I don't even need you to make plays. I actually think the linebacker room is going to be stout. I think the linebacker room is going to be good, but you just need somebody who's not going to get moved. And I'm going to shut up. But you just need somebody who's not going to get moved.
Yeah. And getting off the ball, off the jam, and play with lower pad levels. And
he is who he is, man. My expectations, I've said this to my boy Koya, they've been lowered, unfortunately. Because you remember we did the draft show when he was drafted. I was excited because I thought this was our guy to help us stop the run. And yes, he improved from year 1 to year 2, but we're talking about a really, really low bar, by the way. And yes, he's had multiple coordinators. Question: has Osa had multiple coordinators? 3 coordinators?
Yeah.
Rhetorical, but yes, he's had 3 different coordinators, and he still went out there and balled. So I'm kind of getting tired of hearing that.
I think Mozzie's going on 6, though. I asked him about that today in the pros, and he said that at Michigan, he was changing out too. Like even the D tackle coach who recruited him left right before, so he's signed and committed to Michigan, and the D tackle coach was like, "Hey man, great to have you, but I'm actually going."
Didn't bother him in college.
No, you're right. You're right.
Bother him in college. So he is what he is. And when they decided to go with Eberflus, it was a dead giveaway that he is not a fit. So they're trying to make him a fit. And he admitted, right, hey, I got to get better with the scheme. I'm trying to improve and things like that. But I was frustrating for me. It's not even Mozzie no more. He is what he is. I'm over that situation. I hope he continues to get better. But what's frustrating is you knew he wasn't a fit. You knew you needed help here. And here we are 3 weeks out to the season. And we're like, hey, dog, we need some defensive tackles in here. But you knew this in February. You knew this in April. You knew this in June. And we are still talking about that's the frustrating
Shelby
thing.
said, put Mozzie at guard.
It's just so I mean, I hope the kid improves by week 1, and if I'd rather they bring in somebody that he can be behind and not be the guy that you're counting on to play 25 35 snaps a game. I don't think that'd be good.
Sky, what do you think about him saying today that when he was asked about getting the double teams and stuff like that, how he said he's supposed to split them? That's his job in this defense, is to split those double teams. How do you feel about him doing that?
I don't feel great at all. He doesn't feel great about it either. I mean, the film tells you he doesn't feel great about it. And again, last year in NFC East games, he did some good things from time to time, but not consistently. But yes, Saturday, no, he wasn't doing that. Winfrey did that more than he did. Even Toia, who didn't have a great game.
No, he didn't. That the scary part is that he didn't either. Yeah,
no, but he was splitting them. He was splitting, if that's what you were looking at, the split more, especially early in that game. He played way too many snaps. You will never see him play that many damn snaps, and you hope you don't see him play that many damn snaps.
I think Mozzie got a feet problem. He got to keep moving his feet when he's engaged, and then try to rip at least once.
Disengage, my guy. Get the hell off the block.
You know what? The only thing that I'm going to give
dance with those blockers,
a saving grace to all of this on the defense is the resumes of Aaron Whitecotton and Matt Eberflus. The resumes, everywhere they've been, they top 10 or top 15, and I think Matt Eberflus is going to figure it out. Far as what we're going to do.
I agree, Law. I agree. And hey, shout out to Brandon Laurie listening. How about that? Great follow on Twitter. Hey, the thing for me, right, is I'll be 1000% Law. That's the saving grace. I think, John, one of our first shows, you said it. Let's just let Matt and these guys do their thing, and I'm with it. All right, we're getting closer. Saquon's coming. These guys, and like a lot of that duo and that stuff that let's be honest with. What's the offensive line coach out there in Philly? Jeff. What's his name? Sky. Offensive line guy. Jeff Stoutland. Yeah, Stoutland. He's running the offense. He's gonna look at that Rams tape. Oh, this is what we're putting in this week. We'll just double team them to death and wrap our center around and do whatever, because they're not gonna stop it.
He got looking at that Rams tape foot.
Man, I'm telling you.
And Mozzie ain't playing. What they play 60 combined snaps. Osa and the other boys wasn't up.
They looking at it.
He's looking at Chicago Bears tape right now and seeing how the philosophy scheme fit is going to convert over to what the Cowboys doing. I don't think he's paying too much attention to the Cowboys tape.
Well, okay. So my point is this:
a wide receiver, and they went out and got George Pickens. So
yes,
maybe they're just kind of laying in the weeds here at corner and defensive tackle, that they're like, hey, we're going to give these young guys a chance in camp, but before week 1, maybe a week before, whatever, maybe it's when roster cut downs are, we're going to make a move for a corner and for another run stopping type defensive tackle.
Let me ask you a question, John.
There's got to be another
something
card to be played somewhere.
I was about to say,
spots.
Before your question, I hear y'all on the coaching aspect of it. I promise you, I feel like we heard the same shit last year though, because Mike Zimmer's resume was a good resume with defensive linemen. Now he did improve, but again,
he did improve,
a lower bar. But we heard this last year, and we're still in very next year. Like, hey man, we don't know about Mozzie. So yes, I get Whitecotton is amazing. Flus is amazing in regards to what he can do with linebackers and run defense. But you a dude or you're not a dude.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
And the only reason why I give old man Zimmer a pass a little bit, because those injuries, Scott, those injuries kind of threw off everything. I think that if he had a healthy team, we would have been better. And by stat alone, Parsons had his probably best season, and he missed him for 3-4 games, right?
I'm talking about Mozzie.
Oh, just Mozzie. All right.
I'm
Okay.
talking about
Yeah.
Mozzie.
Oh, you just talking about Mozzie. Yeah.
Micah, there are players that are coach proof. I don't give a damn if I went out there and coach Mike.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
shout
you
out to
say that.
530 people here.
Hold on. You say that.
Whoa.
No. I was looking at
Oh,
text.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
There's some breaking news.
You say that about not needing a coach or whatever, but I don't know, man. Like he was coached at Penn State to be off the ball linebacker. It seems like maybe if you put him rushing the passer, it might probably add like 15, 20 seconds. But hey, whatever. Maybe it's just me.
That's a good point.
James
It does be.
Franklin shot right there.
Hey, let me ask y'all this. Chat. 530 people in here. Best Cowboys podcast in the world. Hey, would you rather, if you had to use a get out of jail free card and you want to go get a D tackle or a corner, but you can only get one, what would it be and why? D tackle or corner?
You want me to go first?
Go, Law.
I would say a defensive tackle at this point, because if your front seven can get to the quarterback and block it up and stop the run, hey, we can do a lot of things. We can probably survive the fact that we waiting for Trayvon Diggs to get back. We can probably survive waiting for Revel and Josh Butler to get back. So I'll say defensive tackle.
Oh, it's DT for sure, but I mean, it's been that for years. So I think it's far more likely they find the corner that could be impactful than the defensive tackle. But even if they had okay defensive tackle play, I still would say the D tackle, because it's just been too long for them. I mean, like, when's the last time they've been very good at defensive tackle? I don't even know if I've covered the team when that's happened, to be honest with you. So I was in at the very end of Jay Ratliff's career. So that's probably it. You know, there was a little bit of Jason Hatcher around then. And then it was into the, Malik Collins and Terrell McClain.
Was it Hayden? Nick Hayden.
Nick Hayden. What's his name that they got from the Bears?
Don't call his nickname though.
Melton.
Henry Melton. Yeah. And then somehow fell into
Jonathan Hankins.
Well, I was gonna say a little bit of a glimmer of hope with David Irving. That faded fast, but
Antoine Woods, baby.
Antoine,
little
so
Antoine.
if you tell me in any way they could find a good defensive tackle, I would sign up for that over almost any other position, because they found Osa in the 3rd round, but to me, Mozzie is just not on his own. It's hard for me to look past how big of a swing and a miss there was on Tristan Hill too.
Oh, it's a defensive tackle because of the domino effect it can have. You're talking about a defensive scheme that is 3-tech and linebacker centric. If you want your 3-tech and linebackers to play at the highest level, you give them a nasty dude next to Osa that can help keep those guys clean, that can move the line of scrimmage, that can affect live in the backfield, take up doubles effectively. That is going to have a domino effect across. It's also going to help your safeties that have to fill the alley. It's going to help the corner or the slot guy that has to be, like I said, that overhang defender in the run game. It's defensive tackle, man. It's the domino effect. And I think it was you, Law, who said it also will allow you to hold serve until you get your cornerbacks coming back. Because at least you got that. You know you got guys coming back there. You don't have anybody coming to save you at defensive tackle, man.
We can have Dion on this team right now. If you can't stop the run, it's going to be crazy trouble.
It's a tough way to die, Law. Just getting ran on consistently, and you gotta jump out to early leads, and it puts us back into the same issues that we have in these playoff games where there's no wiggle room.
What a name drop. Ken Bishop. I remember the Ken Bishop time, 2014. I think he was in that 2014 game against the Packers, I want to say. Ken Bishop, but it was another guy with Ken Bishop.
We got the super chats to read.
Yeah, I'm getting into them now. Yeah, maybe Igor or Spancy or whatever. Jerry and Steven are bad at this. They are clowns. Chris B, thank you for the $2 super. I don't think anybody. Also, don't give a damn about the 90s. It's 2025. I completely agree. I agree. It's 2025. Fellas, how many series do the starters get? This is a good one. We'll save this for tomorrow. The truth, because I have my thoughts, and panel may not agree with me, but I want to see some of these guys play. We were a 6-win team last year, so acting like this team can just roll out of bed and be great, I don't know. Great stuff, fellas. Totally agree with Foots about Maris filling gaps, scraping, look comfortable. Thank you, M. Lennox, for the $5. And to end it, we'll go here. Is it more likely? Oh, wow. I didn't even see.
We
Is
just
it more
did
like
that.
the Cowboys
Yeah.
make a move? Thank you, Jeff Casario. Is it more likely the Cowboys make a move for DT or corner? I think we just talked about it, and I'm not gonna go against the grain. We got to get a defensive tackle, and
We have
for
to, but
me,
the more likely position is corner. And
yeah,
honestly,
that's a good point.
You just look at the value they put on it. When they've needed corners, they've used picks to try and hide round pick.
Wow.
They like defensive tackle. Yeah, they spent the one on Mozzie, and they've spent that second on Tristan Hill. But like in free agency, trades and stuff like that, I just have not felt. And again, I'm just not going over the last 5 years. I'm going over the last 15 years. Man,
That's real,
D
John.
tackle to me is only second behind safety for the least investment that the Cowboys have put on positions over the last 15 years.
Yeah,
It's negligence, as Sky said, and it's this year we'll be looking at D tackles in the draft. Sky, we'll be looking at running backs, and
The league
I don't want to get there too early.
The league gives the Cowboys a blueprint, and they're so defiant. They want to be contrarian so bad, but go look at a lot of these teams. They have legitimate defensive tackles, or at least a legitimate nose tackle or two. It's so ridiculously obvious, but they decide not to follow the blueprint of the league.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So, hey, the Guru, yes, and we'll end here. We will be on tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m., which it's where I'm at right now. It is
what time,
bro? It is 4
Noon.
o'clock. It's like 4 or 5, something
that's
like that.
crazy because we are in 4 different time zones.
Literally, because John and we're still in
That's wild.
California. It's wild.
Right.
Law, you back home? So
Yeah, I'm back home, man.
I'm
Yeah.
Eastern, Zon
You
Pacific,
Eastern.
and you whatever
Yeah.
Hawaiian.
Yeah, it's night time almost, Scott. Yeah.
So if it's it's 4 o'clock, and I'm about to
Hey,
chill.
Real quick, because I saw people were like, "Hey, is this a podcast? What's the schedule?" We're right now, like I said, tomorrow will be on Wednesday, but during the season it'll be Monday and Thursday. Correct, fellas?
Yeah.
Yes.
Monday and Thursday. This
Yeah.
is not some just spare of the moment. There's some new people. This is the collective. We will be here.
And a lot of the randomness from training camp is I'm to blame because there's just stuff that happens out here that for me because this is my big thing. Like, I don't want to come in here and like have some like really bad audio or whatever. So I've been trying to come back to my room to do the pods, and there's just been random things that have happened that they're making somebody available, or we have this, or I have to write something else. So that won't happen once we get in the season. There's a lot more stuff that kind of there isn't just a random player available or random Jerry's doing this or whatever. It's pretty by the book, and their schedule set early on. So yeah, during the season, Mondays and Thursday.
My man said, make sure we got set days. That's the set day, brother. Yeah. Mondays and Thursdays. It was that way, towards the end of last season, it'll be that way for this.
Availability, Brandon.
Actually,
we might bring him on as a special guest.
Actually, to be honest with you, Scott, this is our first season in season. Remember, we started the pod in the off season.
Facts.
And it's grown this much.
Wow.
So this is all the inaugural season of Cowboys Collective, and this is how consistent we've been. 500 people. I know during season it's going to go crazy, and we're going to stay consistent for you guys. And like Brandon said, and Brandon he does great work. We appreciate him. We appreciate everybody listening. Do exactly what he just said. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and run the podcast numbers up. And I want to say this on a public forum, John. You don't got to apologize because you like the Steph Curry this thing. We're going to give you the ball and let you shoot. You come, the fans want the insight. You get what I'm saying? Right. Hey, listen, I pass it. I play defense, Scott. Listen, because we want there's times we come on this pod, John, where I'm getting something new. I'm like, okay, I can take that to my channel and do some information. So the fact that you get this type of information from the Cowboys Collective, I don't know why you would be anywhere else getting your information.
That's great stuff.
Scott,
and John, when is the? I know we're about to depart, but when is the last day everybody's in Oxnard?
Thursday. There's a little walkthrough type practice. There'll be availability on Thursday, and then everybody, like the team flies back on Thursday. Everybody that covers the team flies back on Thursday, and then Friday's an off day, and then Saturday, the preseason game against the Ravens.
And
came and went.
The next joint practice, open practice for people is on the 19th and the 20th, I believe.
I think that's correct. Yeah. So those will be inside the Ford Center at the Star.
I'm so mad I'll be missing it. I was
gonna fly on in. See,
I might,
this show is gonna be so big that we're gonna fly everybody in, and we're gonna have one at the Star.
I love doing that, man. Man, I think we linked the last four off seasons there. So yeah, maybe I just get back down there.
Yeah. Hey,
Anyway.
shout out to our great sponsor, SeatGeek, Cowboys Collective. Make sure you guys.
We got
if
another
you wanna
big one
get $20
coming this season too. So y'all stay tuned.
Hey,
man.
still,
we're very proud.
Still,
of them.
they think we playing. We ain't playing.
Yeah, we
Much
ain't
love to
playing.
you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Aunties, uncles, cousins. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. As always, thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. Keep growing with us. We love you guys.
They're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
Peace.